from the University of Florida is head coach Amanda Butler, our student athletes are Dina Allen and Azania Stewart. Coach, would you like to start us off with an opening statement?
Sure. We played a great team tonight, and a great team that played great, and that's really hard to overcome. But you have to congratulate their kids and their coaches, the way they played, the way they prepared, the way they competed. I think they've shown a tremendous amount of consistency in their play this year, and certainly, there was no shortage of that tonight as well. So, congratulate Bader. I'm really proud of my kids though, and proud of our fight. And it certainly wasn't our best performance. But for most of the ball game, I felt like we played Florida basketball, and our kids should have their heads held high.
Okay, questions for our student athletes. Who wants to start? Please remember to wait for a microphone.
Azania, Brittany did most of her offensive damage in the second half. What was different about that?
Sorry, say that again?
Brittany scored most of her points in the second half. What was different about what they were doing or what you were doing?
I just had 4 fouls and I knew I had to stay on the floor, but she's a great player. Everyone knows that. I just tried to be physical with her, push her out of the paint, get her out of her comfort zone. I felt like I got her out of that in the first half. But she's a great player. Her team looks for her and finds her very well.
Who's next? Right here.
Dina, you guys were down 9 at halftime, which for Baylor, that's actually a pretty close score. Did you feel like the game was still there for the taking?
Yeah, I felt like we was in the game still. I told the girls in the locker room to just keep our heads up. We still in it. We need to go back out and have a better second half than the first half. I felt like we hung in there in the first half, but that wasn't our best basketball. I felt like everything came out in the second half.
Who's next? No other? One more here. Go ahead, John.
Azania, John Wagner from the Toledo Blade.
Hey, John.
Would you care to share with us what Coach Mulkey said to you after the game? I noticed she had a little talk with you.
It was great words from her. She just said, you guys put up a great fight. You played with your hearts and nothing to be ashamed of, embarrassed, and that's a great compliment not only to me but to my teammates. That's a great way to go out as a great coach like she is and the team like that. We played Florida basketball and she knew it, and I felt really confident, happy for the girls, and I told them as soon as I went back into the locker room, we can't be upset with that. We played the best team on the best floor and we gave them our best shot. So we walk out here with our shoulders high, our heads up, and we represented University of Florida, and that's what I'm so proud of. My 4 years, I couldn't be any happier. Well, I didn't want to cry.
You're going to make us cry. Oh.
Sorry to ask you another one.
It's all right.
Ultimately, it's 2 points on the scoreboard, but do you feel like Brittany's dunk, did that give Baylor a lift at all?
I think, yeah, but we talked about it in the locker room. We know she's capable of doing that. She does it in warm-ups. We said that if they make a big three or she dunks, we have to get the ball in and out quickly. It didn't affect us, I don't think. It's a great play, Most women can't do that. So I think I was right underneath her, so I just got it out really quickly. But I think we bounced back great from it. I don't think it affected us that much. We still hustled and played our game.
Anything else for our student athletes? Okay, ladies, thank you very much.
Go Gators.
Thank you.
Good girl. Yeah, I'm saying. Yeah, I'll be okay.
Who wants to start it off with the coach?
Coach, you guys were actually able to keep Brittany without a shot for the first 10 minutes of the first half. That was so effective, and then maybe what changed?
Our defensive game plan, our initial one, whether we were man or zone, was to just try to be in position to discourage the pass from going in. We we didn't want to try to double or, have some scheme for how we'll guard her after she gets the ball, because it's just frankly not what we've done all year, and we didn't feel like that was the right way to go. And so I thought we did a pretty good job of that initially, of just trying to keep it out of her hands. And you have to credit their other players, Destiny in particular. It seemed like we were sagging in and helping in, and then whoever would shoot, then Destiny would be the one who came up with a rebound. And I thought she had a really, really nice game, which was proud of her. But that was basically it. And she's a great player, and as Amy has said it, very well. They did a really good job of playing as a team, and if she wasn't getting shots and someone else, Hayden stepped up and hit threes when we went zone. I mean, they all made plays. They're a great team, but that was the first thought. Let's not let her catch it.
Coach Wendell Barnhouse, Big12Sports.com. They hit a couple threes, and I think they went up maybe 14, 15 there in the first half. You guys got to cut back to 6. What did you see and they had some empty possessions. Defensively, it seemed like you guys you sort of got them flustered there a little bit, it seemed.
Really? Okay. If you say so. I think that what you saw during those moments and those runs were just what Azania was talking about. That's Florida basketball. That's how our kids fight. They have a tremendous resilient spirit. And, even going into that last timeout that I think maybe we called at 2 minutes, and I don't know what the point differential was at that point. They're looking at me going, what are we doing now? What are we doing now? They're ready to fight. So, that's what I would credit that to.
Coach, would it be correct in presuming that they did in the first 5 minutes of the second half what you wanted to do? It was just kind of make that burst.
Certainly. I thought they did have a really strong start to the second half, and we knew that was going to happen. We knew that they were going to come out ready, and they got to get her more touches. I mean, that's what I said earlier about their team, and, I'll say it again. I think their coaching staff does a great job of just keeping it real simple. Here's our best player that no one in the country can guard. Let's make sure we get her the ball. And, and so you have to credit them for certainly in those moments, not overcoaching, but just putting their players in position to succeed, and their players responding to those challenges, as they should, as the #1 team in the country should.
Sort of to follow up on that, Jordan Madden and Nene Hayden, maybe people across the country don't know as much about them. They know Griner, but it strikes me, like you said, even if you keep the ball out of Griner's hands, those two can hurt you. And you look at all 5 of them scoring double figures tonight, how hard it is because they do have all those other weapons.
Well, I think that's when you cross the threshold of possibly it maybe being impossible to beat them, because you can take away, and that's any team, and that's also just basketball. And basketball this time of year, you can game plan to take away a team's best players or their comfort zones. But when other players step up, when other players make plays that maybe they haven't consistently done, then you're faced with a challenge that probably falls outside of your game plan. And, and certainly those guys played a great game, and got to give them all the credit for taking up the slack. When they had opportunities, they capitalized on them. I thought the thing that they did the best was their defensive pressure. They did a really good job of making it tough for our kids to catch in the areas that they were comfortable, just played tremendous defense, which, I think everybody wants to write about Griner dunking and different things like that, but Baylor is a great defensive team, aside even from her blocking shots. They can really make you uncomfortable, and they certainly did a good job of that today.
Coach, to follow up on that, did they maybe make you take more perimeter jump shots than you wanted? I mean, you had to work the shot clock down under 10 sometimes, and probably took shots you didn't want. But did they force you to take too many jump shots, do you think?
No, I didn't think so. Our offensive thought going into the game as a team was that we wanted to take shots that we wanted to take. If you were open and you felt good, then you got to knock it down for us. And the thing that we absolutely did not want was our kids to be hesitant. We didn't want to be hesitant. We didn't want to be scared about getting our shot blocked. We wanted to take confident, strong looks, whether it was going to the rim, whether it was pulling up, or whether it was shooting a three. And aside from Jennifer George deciding to take a three tonight, she hit it, 1 for 1 for the year. I was pleased with all the shots that we took, because I thought we took them pretty confidently.
Coach, sometimes a coach will get a tech to try to fire up their team? Were you doing that in that situation?
Was I trying to get a technical foul? No, no, I was not. She does, no. Maybe I should have gotten two then, I don't know.
Anything else for the coach? Okay, Coach, thank
Thanks.
you very much.